was alerted to this whole show coming out Monday-ish by Jed, the Hollywood Scholar. It's now officially announced, I guess. From my understanding, it was announced today, yesterday for you, today for me. But I'm terrified. I'm also not as terrified as I would be considering some of the hands that are in, but I'm still very terrified considering several of the other hands that God of War is in right now. Not just Amazon, but a few of the people. I hinted in my morning segment about Wheel of Time. Yeah, Wheel of Time's back. The people over there are back. Yep, the people that did Wheel of Time, that did Rings of Power, yep, they're back. They're back with a vengeance. Now for God of War. But it's kind of weird to think that they're coming for God of War when, the person who's in charge over there, I can't think of her name right now, said no to Conan because it was too toxic. Yep. Anyways, God of War TV show details revealed as Amazon greenlights the series. The show will follow the events of 2018 series reboot. Pause. Why is it the 2018 series reboot? Why is it not going to be from the beginning to the end? What just happened in Ragnarok? I believe Ragnarok's the end. I know the story. Haven't looked into Ragnarok yet. Haven't had the time. I don't have a PlayStation. I've played some of the games. Like it. Kratos isn't my all-time favorite character. I know that these games are fun. I know that they're a blast. I know the story's good. My question there is, why are we starting with the 2018 version and not going all the way back to the beginning and working our way forward? You can do it. I'm not saying 2018 story wasn't good. Actually, it was pretty darn good. Borderline great. It's possible. Just my personal question. It's possible to do it. You can have little flashback moments trying to show Kratos in the past. That's neither here nor there. Let's just get into this. The series, which has been in development since March, is being adapted for TV by showrunner Rafe Judkins. The Wheel of Time. Yes. The Wheel of Time people are involved. The Rings of Power people are involved. That whole group is involved. Because you can't just have one. They gotta have all of them. Let's be real. You don't just get one member of Wheel of Time. You get them all. Now, the writers actually have some decent work. Mark Fergus and Hawk Otsbury, Children of Men, Iron Man, The Expanse. The Expanse, Iron Man, great. Children of Men, good. So you got some work here. You got some wiggle room, but that Wheel of Time kind of outweighs all the wiggle room. Now, mitigating factor. All three are serving as executive producers, as are Santa Monica Studio head Yumi Yang. Santa Monica Studio has been in charge of God of War since the beginning, from my understanding. I haven't really looked into it that deep. Santa Monica Studio is more known for God of War. So you got the God of War head essentially involved as a producer. And creative director Corey Balgrek and PlayStation production boss Azad Quizilvis. So you don't just have Yumi Yang, the head of the studio. You have their creative director Corey, and you have the PlayStation production boss Assad, whose name I'm not going to try to butcher again. So you got PlayStation involved. You got Santa Monica involved. You got the guys who've been in charge of Kratos from the beginning involved. You got mitigating factors there. How involved are they going to be? Is this going to be like Cowboy Bebop involved, where, well, the guy who wrote Cowboy Bebop and made the anime gave some notes? Or are they going to be actively involved? Are they going to be saying, no, Kratos can't do that because of this? Are they going to say, no, you can't do that because of this? Or are their notes going to just go into the wastebasket? Don't know. I am worried, though, because one of the big touchstones here still is Rafe Judkins' The Wheel of Time. And we've seen what has happened to The Wheel of Time, where they brought the writer in, well, one of the writers in, to try to help write everything. and they ended up kicking him aside. And then in Tolkien, they brought in the most learned Tolkien scholar ever, who, from all accounts, gave them such major headaches, started saying, no, you can't do this, to the point that they kick him out, they fire him, they fire the whole production crew, bring in a whole new crew, and we got what we got. Yes, you know, those people, those fantastic people, you know what Amazon's been doing for the past while now. Now, there is mitigating factor. It really does depend how actively involved is Yami Yang, Corey, and Assad. How active are they in this production? Because if they're just, oh, that looks good, that's fine. But considering Kratos is one of PlayStation's largest mascots right now, like one of their biggest mascots, a name as synonymous, if not a little bit more than Master Chief, on almost equal footing as Mario, I kind of think they're going to be involved in this one. I could be wrong. I kind of think they're going to be involved and very protective of this. According to the official show description, it looks set to follow the story of 2018's God of War series reboot, which was continued in recent release sequel, God of War Ragnarok. I still haven't looked into Ragnarok. I need to. I know I've been busy. Unlike previous entries in the series, which were inspired by Greek mythology, the last two God of War games are loosely based on Norse mythology. This we already know. They were pretty much a more story about Kratos in his later years. He has a son now, so on and so forth. Not much of the God of War. Kind of more of a battle-hardened man who's now in the later years and just wants to live out his life with his son. Good story right there. Really good story. Actually, God of War 2018, I really enjoyed the story of. Now we get the show notes here, which you pretty much already know. When his beloved wife dies, Kratos sets off on a dangerous journey with his estranged son to spread her ashes from the highest peak, his wife's final wish. Reads the show description via The Hollywood Reporter. Kratos soon realizes the journey is an epic quest in disguise, one which will test the bonds between father and son and force Kratos to battle new gods and monsters for the fate of the world. Okay, pretty much the exact description of 2018's God of War. Okay? Can't do anything really with this. Still don't know what's going to happen, but okay, start off on the right foot, basically grabbing a synopsis of 2018. We continue. The show is co-production between Amazon Studios and Sony Pictures Television in association with PlayStation Production. The fact that PlayStation is all over this, the fact that Santa Monica is all over this, is mitigating for me. Still that Amazon touch, that Wheel of Time touch, that production whose name I cannot remember off the top of my head, who has like the Wheel of Time, who has the freaking Rings of Power. Those people, just the fact that one of them is there terrifies the hell out of me. This could work. This could seriously work. This could seriously go into a good direction. This show could be great. This could honestly be the Game of Thrones for Amazon Prime. There you go. Now, do I want it to be Game of Thrones? No. When I say I want it could be the Game of Thrones for Amazon Prime, I mean something as large as Game of Thrones, something equal in scale, like the fan base, the support, the fact that it's scheduled television, the fact that people are going to go watch it every day, every time you're going to get these massive hits. That's what I mean when I say it could be Amazon Prime's Game of Thrones. That Wheel of Time aspect, though, is really is your detriment. Again, we'd have to wait to see what happens. The fact that you're doing the 2018 story and not the start from the beginning all the way onward, kind of weird. Because if you started at the beginning, did the game from there to here, you kind of have your Game of Thrones there. You got gore, you got sex, you got gods fight versus gods, and you show the past where he's basically just killing everything constantly that gets in his way. You round it out with the story of a hardened warrior at the end of his line, just wanting to live in the woods, raise a son, and just live a quiet lifestyle. Losing his wife, getting back involved in that adventure, going to Ragnarok for his final adventure, which I believe is his final adventure. I could be wrong. Ragnarok might not be the end. I believe it is. I could be wrong. You'll correct me in chat. Again, I haven't looked into Ragnarok that much because I haven't had time. Plus, I don't have a PlayStation, so I can't play it. Well, eventually it'll come to PC. Anyways, the fact that PlayStation's all over this place, we can do. We are so proud and excited to be working with our friends at Amazon Studios and our partners at PlayStation Productions to adapt this beautiful and heartbreaking game into a premium live-action series, said Sony Pictures TV president Catherine Pope. We'll see. Rafe, Mark, and Hawk are crafting a transpositive series that charts a path through the ancient mythology journey of Kratos. Please tell me you guys have, a massive involvement. Please, PlayStation, Sony, all you guys have massive involvement. Assad, who I'm not going to try to say because it's Quizlebash, added, God of War is one of PlayStation's most awarded video games, so we're excited to partner with Sony Pictures Television and Amazon Studios to bring our beloved franchise to fans and new audiences in a bold and authentic way. It's that Amazon touch right now. It's that Amazon touch that is terrifying to this, which will potentially be the deal breaker and the downfall of the show. It's the fact that Amazon, Wheel of Time people, Lord of the Prime, Rings of Prime, that disaster that's involved here. That's the detriment here. We're not talking about HBO making the show. We're talking about Amazon Prime. What have they produced? They've produced crap. They've produced disasters. This isn't Amazon Prime. This is something else. So take it as it is. PlayStation Productions is a studio formed in 2019 by Sony Interaction. This is just some mitigating things. They've also worked on, Uncharted movie starring Tom Holland. I have issues with that movie. Story was nah. Tom Holland isn't Nathan Drake. Sully isn't Mark Wahlberg. He's not Sully. He's still too young to be Sully. For crying out loud, there's issues there. Its next HBO The Last of Us TV show will premiere in January. That's right, they're also involved with the HBO Last of Us show. So the more that I'm thinking about this, the more I'm like, oh my god, Kratos is going to be butchered. Our hero, our god of war, could easily be butchered in this show. So Amazon Prime has a record, as I've stated multiple times throughout this in the show. Because doing this video, I read everything pre-hand and I completely forgot about their past work. Yeah. So who knows what's gonna happen? I'm worried, really worried, because we saw what happened to Tom Holland's Last of Us. Well, not Last of Us, Uncharted. We saw what happened there. Wasn't great. I think it made some money. I need to go back and check. Fun action movie. Some people actually really enjoyed it. It is what it is. The Last of Us show. How's The Last of Us doing? Is The Last of Us show actually even going to make anything? I don't know. I'll be there to watch it. Oh, God, I'll be there to watch it. Anyways, all this together, let me get your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. Do you think this outing for God of War on Amazon is going to prove fruitful? Will this be more or less the, not storytelling wise, not style, but level wise, like equal in strength of production value of like fan base, that style. Do you think this God of War series could be Amazon Prime's Game of Thrones? Don't know. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it out with your friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.